Right then, what's up everyone? Welcome back to the Final Fantasy X Hardcore Nuzlocke. If you join us in the chat, great to have you with us as always. And if you join us on the VOD, appreciate you checking out the challenge and the channel. It's been a few weeks since we've done one of these, and it's great to be back. I'm just going to do a quick audio check as usual. Right then, what's up everyone? Sounds like we're coming in loud and clear, folks. We are back facing BRASKA'S Final Aeon. We're in Sin, we're at Dream's End, and we're looking to get through this absolutely roadblock of an opponent. It's taken us 35 attempts, it's taken us 65 episodes, and we're still not through BFA. So we're going to find out today. I've got some new ideas as to whether or not we can find a line to get through BFA safely, to get through BFA and have Yuna and Riku in the party. Those are probably the clutch two that I need. And let's see if we can beat BFA today. Because if we can beat BFA and we've got Yuna and Riku, chances are we're going to be able to beat Yu Yevon. So I'll cast my mind back to New Year's. I say New Year's Eve. It was actually New Year's Day. It was about midnight. We actually did get a victory versus BFA, and that was on the BFA number 1. I think it was 61 or episode 62. And the trouble with that episode, though, was we actually used Yuna to summon Bahamut, inflict some damage, and then we actually managed to defeat BFA. But Yuna, at the time, was killed in battle. So it poses quite an interesting choice there, because Yuna is obviously needed for the storyline section afterwards versus Yu Yevon to summon the Aeons for us to defeat in order for us to get to Yu Yevon, and it was rightly called out in the chat at the time. So it poses the dilemma. We need to do this BFA fight, we need to do it safely, we need to do it consistently, albeit I'm prepared to forego some RNG here and there, much like a number of the other bosses we faced, things like Altana, Flux, maybe Yunalesca as well. You know, those are kind of the standout call-outs of the challenge. What that means is, like I said, we need to do this safely, consistently, but also we need to ensure that realistically Yuna survives, guaranteed, and I think the only way for us to beat the Aeons is having Riku survive as well. So we need to be able to get through with those characters intact. Having Tidus do the final blow would be great as well, because then we've got Tidus in first strike, who can go straight into Riku. That would be clutch as well. So a few new ideas knocking about. We've explored a number of strategies before. But I am going to, just kick off with a couple of new ideas I've got. One of which actually involves hacking auto haste back in. Now, it's going to feel like it's going to make the previous fights a bit redundant, because at least for Yunalesca, at the time, I couldn't see another line to get through Yunalesca unless we had auto haste. Auto haste allowed us basically to keep up with Yunalesca during the third phase, but having gone back, done some testing versus Yunalesca, it is potentially viable to do Yunalesca without, I think anyway, consistently without auto haste. We've just got to literally burn through a lot of Chocobo wings. Now, what that means is it actually opens the door for us to equip auto haste to someone else in the party, because Auron, Yuna, Riku will have haste through a Chocobo wing. Tidus will have SOS haste, which is a must-have, by the way, and it opens the door for us to have auto haste on a secondary character, or a fifth character, for instance. Now, from the testing, we've done Waka as a backup SOS haste character, which I think is a good strat. I think we probably also need Lulu in SOS Haste. The trouble is, if Lulu dies with SOS Haste, there's a grey area with the rules as to whether to suggest we can actually bring someone in using SOS Haste there. So can we have a dead Lulu and an alive Tidus both with SOS Haste? I don't know. I mean, look, if that is the only way through BFA, then so be it. I think we're just going to have to live with that. But one of the ideas I've got is to see what this fight looks like with a hacked-in auto haste. So that's what we're going to attempt today. We did in the previous attempts go down the route of tanking the tank strat with Auron, Kimahri and Riku, and having Riku utilise her overdrive in order to give us, is it Mega Vitality? Which is, from what I believe, Hyper Vitality, which doubles all allies' HP and casts 5 times cheer, which is basically an additional kind of protect or defend. It's kind of auto defend, really. Now, the trouble we faced there was Riku found it extremely difficult and extremely slow, especially with only using SOS Overdrive, to actually get a second overdrive. It's not impossible, it's just very situational and very slow. So I think I've kind of foregone that option so far. I mean, maybe we could, you know, I've put it as a potential option for the future, but I think it's probably one we've got to park for now. The second option, which actually was the option prior to this, which was the only time we've actually beaten BFA semi-legitimately, albeit, like I said at the start, Yuna died, was a combination of bursting with Trio up front, summoning Bahamut, getting some form of battle out of Bahamut, and then having Bahamut dismissed after the overdrive. What that does is it puts BFA and our characters in a favourable turn order, because I'm guessing BFA's overdrive is a lower rank move and it doesn't inflict delay or anything like that. So what that means is we actually had an opportunity to bring the characters back in, and albeit I do think it was actually after an attack from BFA which took out Yuna. I mean, look, if that would have hit anyone else, I mean, maybe we've got to revisit that as well. Maybe that's another option, is we go down that route with 3 characters and we just chance that the attack after the Bahamut phase isn't on Yuna. Because what we did then, we brought Riku in, we used a gem because she had Trio, then we swapped for Tidus and we used Blitz Ace. So maybe that's the other option we've got. What I do want though is, I kind of want a more repeatable strategy like we've kind of prioritized for the remainder of the fights. So I think what we're going to start with is probably a couple of attempts where we did a similar strategy to before. However, what I'm planning on is setting up a little better with Auron and Kimahri and Riku up front. If I can get those opening few turns nailed down, and this is probably without auto haste as well initially, I feel like I've got a better chance at maybe going down the burst route and chancing the RNG with after the Bahamut phase. So lots to take in at the start, but look, there's plenty for us to crack on and do. I think the person we're going to set up first is Riku. Now, I've been doing a bit of tinkering with Riku's armors recently. I think realistically it's probably best for her to have Magic counter, that's fine. And instead of her having HP plus 30, I figured out it's probably just as good for her to have HP plus 20. And I'll explain why that matters in a moment. So we're going to keep her with Auto Protect and Auto Potion. Just actually need to make sure we've got no potions. No, we sold them. So Riku's done, that's fine. Who's next? Who's next is Auron. So we're going to keep Auron with the 1 MP cost. And I think we'll keep him with... Counter Attack, Poison Strike, and Zombie Strike. I've just actually had another idea, and that is potentially to use Kimahri with Lancet and Trio. So I'm just going to drop that in the chat. Because if we could potentially burst the opening turn, the Lancet might actually get us a favourable turn outcome in the second phase. Like after a Lulu Overdrive, maybe. So... or even we use a combination of a gem, which will do 5 times 9999, add Lancet of 999, and that leaves 6 health. So maybe we can get a couple of Lancets on the go. So that would require Tidus, Kimahri, and Riku instead of Lulu. Kimahri and Riku. Okay, one thing to consider then. The reason, though, I'm thinking we give Riku plus 20 is because when she's doubled HP and when BFA has Power Break, the Force Palm attack that does a shitload of damage, it doesn't matter whether Riku is in plus 30 or plus 20. She will always survive. Also, I believe she will always survive a Jet Beam as well, regardless. I think Jet Beam does a maximum of 750. What that means is we can actually give Auron plus 30, and I'm actually not going to give him the Stone Ward. I'm actually going to give Kimahri the Stone Ward to start things off. But what that means is actually just going back to the Auron strat, because he's got HP plus 30, he's now got over the threshold. He's technically got enough defense and HP to tank a palm strike without protect whilst it's power broken. It does about, I've seen it do about 1350 as a max roll. What this means is we can give Kimahri a bit more HP, because Kimahri doubled now with Power Break on BFA, means he can survive a Force Palm Strike. What else to give him, though, is Auto Shell here, because now he can also survive a... I believe he can also survive a Jet Beam, guaranteed. The next person I want to sort out is Wakka, because Wakka's going to be our secondary SOS character. We will only bring Wakka in when Tidus is not in the front line. There is actually a backup armour that I need to do for Auron and Kimari here. Which I've been toying with. Which is something we could have equipped prior to here. The next is just giving her the Death Strike. It makes no difference. Lulu's already got an SOS Haste. Yuna's not going to see much action. So the backup armour that I need to give Kimari is on... We'll just use this Tetra armour. So I've got Farplane on the go. And I've sold enough equipment so I can see everything now. So the Tetra armour. So this is potentially in case we get a position where it's Kimari, Auron, and either someone else or a dead character. Because technically we could get a second auto shell. We can get HP plus 10, HP plus 5, and I'm going to give Kimari Stoneproof. And then I'm going to customize a secondary armor for Auron. With Stone Ward. And I've just got to figure out how I can manipulate the turns. If I get that far. So I use this glorious black bracer. So can I actually... I think the other thing I've thought about is using those 70 petrify grenades for capturing is probably a bit of a waste. Probably need to use stone touch with Whacker and then figure out ways of just getting around the capturing, because I only need to capture one of everything in most cases. I think area conquest, species conquest, I think I only had to capture 6, sorry, and they were quite easy, so I think it's just a timing issue there. So Stoneproof, and then we have got no more magic defense. So I think we do that. So that's the backup. So you're done, you're done, you're done, you're done for now. We need to do your health, and the weapons really don't matter. I'm actually also going to put Lulu at 1 HP. I don't think it matters. Right, first attempt, let's go. Okay, first things first, as usual, let's just get the times 4 on, it just helps a lot. We can use the Chocobo wing, and then back to Tidus for a tour. Right, this is a very important turn here because I'm a bit rusty, but see, sometimes Kimahri gets a turn, and sometimes he doesn't. It's an absolute pain in the arse. So, nearly get a turn, but no, she doesn't. I can't remember what other battle that happens in, but it's not, like, the turn order is not consistent, which annoys me. So what we need to get into a position here where we've got Kimahri, Riku, and maybe Auron. Doesn't really matter about Auron. As long as we've got Kimahri and Riku, with Riku going first and then Kimahri doing double HP. See, this is what I mean by the auto haste. If Kimahri had auto haste here, he would be guaranteeing getting a turn. There's a swap. So what we can do here is use the stamina tonic. This means we've got to waste the second tour already. We use the stamina tonic. We have to talk again. See, next round we could use maybe here I can throw Chocobo Feather on Kimahri. No, that's good. Allowing him HP overdrive isn't bad really in my eyes. It's fine. The ideal thing is we bring back him in, he uses overdrive and we get out. Too fast. Need someone slower. You're too slow. Fucking crux of it, man. Thinking here. Only really got a turn. See, after this turn, like the last person that needs to come in is Kimahri. to do a White Wind. But we also need Auron in to Power Break. We also need Riku to throw a gem, or throw a Supreme Gem. So I'm going to swap with him. A fucking turn, that is a joke. Here's what we need. We need Power Break. In fact, Auron. No. If we use, I don't get a turn. I get a turn before. I think this is where we need to throw the Supreme Gem. This is where we bring in Auron for the Power Break. And this is where Kimari comes in for White Wind. That's fine. Bhed Potion. And I think if I do trio here, it's going to be a waste. The fact that Auron got hit as well is not ideal because it's delayed. Fucking delaying these, mate. What if I use? No. Jet Thing's okay. We didn't get the Petrify, that's good. And SOS Haste is not going to kick in if I swap to it. I don't think it is. Not a good first attempt, I must add. What if we gave Lulu haste here? Too fast. It just doesn't compute. Doesn't compute. I haven't even got trio off. I thought this was right off this one. Let's go for a Bahamut. Going to put him way down the pecking order, and it's not going to do us any favours when it comes to the pagodas. Jet Bomber's fine. We still haven't got trio off though, which is not good. And these have got now 20,000, which is very not good. And this is where you bring in the captain. Oh, now you're fast. I don't mind losing captain here. Right, if I was to bring in Lulu, right, if I was to bring in Lulu without haste, does she still get a turn? Fucking hell, no she doesn't. Ooh. So Lulu must be in SOS haste. Or auto haste, like I said at the start. And now she's going to be too fast. This is a bit pathetic how these turns are working for me. So it's no longer in power break either. I think we're going to back to the drawing board. There's got to be a combination of turns where I can double Riku Kimari's HP. Sorry. Double Riku and Kimari's HP. Get a see if I get a trio off and then I use Lancet. The problem with that is the pagodas are fucking lethal and they'll absolutely eat me alive. So it's a case of I need to be able to double HP, use a Supreme Gem, then use Trio. So Stamina Tonic first with Kimari out. Stamina Tonic with Kimari out. I think that Chocobo for the turn was a waste. So Stamina Tonic while Kimari's out. Not bothered who else. Supreme Gem to get rid of the or do I leave the pagodas in, do Trio, leave the pagodas in, then use a Supreme Gem? What I like about using a Supreme Gem after is Riku's in SOS, Riku's in Overdrive, in Quad 9, in Trio status. Supreme Gems will always do 9,000, and the Pagodas will not go up in HP. Right, back to it. I think Riku is okay. I think we're just going to give a magic counter just for shits and giggles. Soft charge is the way forward, and I think the 20%, what that allows is I guess the only problem is not equipping Auron with stone is we've basically only got 1 power break, 2 at the most, but it's probably just going to be 1 power break because of Palm Strike delays him, and a Jet Beam is it's guaranteed basically to petrify him. Whether it shatters him is a different story. This all changes, by the way, if Kimahri gets that second turn, I think. It just makes it so much more favourable when you swap after the first talk. We'll go with that for now. Bloody pad. Where's Stoneward? See, if we had auto haste and we didn't spunk that on Unalesca, this is potentially doable. I feel I've just got this sense in my brain. I'm not going to bother with the second one. Don't think that's going to make any difference. So we'll just get... We'll just get Whacker done, and then we'll set up... You're good. Let's get the... So you're good. You're good. You just need to go into 1 health. You need to be healed. I don't think I healed him last time, actually. That's an issue. See, even with just plus... What we could do is reverse the healths. So we could have Kimahri in plus 20 and he gets auto haste. I just think it's a long way to go back. Although I say that, it's only... Well, it's capturing, it's the sins, which are auto wins. Omnis, which is auto win. There's no inside sin, and it's this. So really, it's only capturing sin's stuff, overdrive sin, which we figured out that busted strat, and Omnis, which is a guarantee. So maybe it's a case of going back and seeing if we can do Unalesca without auto haste. I've just got this impression we're going to go through a lot more Chocobo wings. Anyway, we'll come to that in a minute when we test that. I'm probably only going to be on for about another hour. We'll try and get back on tomorrow. So we'll get Whacker at 1. We'll get Lulu at 1. The trouble is, I'm stuck from using Lulu in SOS haste Maybe it's Lulu who we have in SOS Haste. What to think about. Right, second attempt, let's go. Standard procedure. Wing into talk. Shame we got to use the talk here, but it's the only option, I think, because we can't use the summon. The reason we can't get the Yuna to get a turn there. See, he gets a turn, and I cannot believe he gets a turn. Okay. I've got an idea here. We might be able to save a talk for later on. So we can use a tonic. If I use a power break here, I must use the Supreme Gem. But there again, I don't think that's a bad thing, because I can just use White Wing with Kamari there. Let's go for it, let's try this. I wanted to save the Supreme Gem though for after. Okay, so that's not an issue. That's not an issue either. If we use a torque here, what's that about? Alright, but Riku doesn't get a fucking turn here, that was a joke. Okay, but just can Tidus come in? Yep, he gets another turn. Fantastic. Can Lulu come in and get another turn? No, she can't. Oh man. Does that matter? Right, let's say she's got haste. The only chance I've been able to get. It was literally the only chance I've been able to get a trio off with them two out. Still under power break, which is fantastic. Fucking fourth palm strike, man. That delay just kills me every time. See, I could take him out into the second phase. I've got no defense. I've got no way of getting Riku back. I've got to survive 2 turns. Fine. Jet Green might have just won us the battle. Guaranteed to do quad 9 is excellent. I thought he was in power break. Power break not work? Actually, I can't even get another use off with Riku there. Unless I get a counter attack here. If this is Jet Beam on Riku, I think we've done it. I've just got to figure out how to get Lulu to have got the haste in that one turn, but I think we've done it. I think we've actually freaking done it. Is Lulu in haste? Lulu is in haste. Is Lulu in haste at a time where she didn't have to be? Probably not. Probably that one turn manipulation that saved this whole run. Alright, let's... Okay, so he's on 120,000. So this is how we beat him, folks. Riku is going to use a water gem that we picked up versus Evray and Evray Altana. Riku is then going to swap to Tidus. Tidus is going to sword play. Blitz Ace. For the victory. Let's go! BFA done! Come on. Yuna's alive as well. And we got the Blitz Ace. Let's go! We got the overkill as well. Let's go! Yes! So it is actually beatable. Just got to get a serious amount of our RNG. Yuna! And Lulu's got to be in haste. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Yuna's alive. Tidus is alive. Riku's alive. Let's do Yu Yevon, folks. Well, my God. Let's take the ×4 off. Tidus is in first strike as well. So we can do this. I think that's really good. That's really good as well. We've got a sensor. Immune to sensors. So here's where the shining gems come in. I cannot believe we've actually just done it. Fairly legitimately as well. Let's go! I'm over the moon about that attempt. Second attempt, I did not expect this today. There was a serious amount of jet beams though. I think we can take that though as a serious use case and work backwards to figure out how that batch is repeatable. Not 100% because there's a serious amount of RNG, especially with the pagodas. But my God, it's doable. I just wonder if we can get this with auto haste. I think that's the key there. I just need to make sure that I've got enough with the shining gems. Perfect. Now Riku's got first strike. Busted. 2 down, 3 to go, folks. Jockey's up next. Yuna's alive, so we're summoning Jockey. God almighty, I'm over the moon. I never, ever, 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 ever thought I would get to this moment in the challenge, ever. Shining Gem on Jockey should be enough. If it's not, I've got another turn. Excellent, another overkill. I think it's going to be enough on everyone. I'm over the moon! We've done it! We've beaten BFA in the hardcore Nuzlocke. Kamari MVP, man. Serious amount of RNG. But we done it. We done it. Got the Ice Queen Shiva up next. Shining Gem again is going to be enough to take her down. Busted, another overkill. Just the big fella, the Hitman himself. Bahamut, the Hitman Heart, up next. And then we've got Yu Yevon himself. Coming up though is a reason why I've actually given Riku Zombie Strike as well. It's going to help save the battle. The last possessed by Yu Yevon. Got the overkill on Bahamut. Let's go. Just Yu Yevon to go now, folks. I cannot believe we're here. We've got the music playing. We're facing Yu Yevon. The strategy worked. Yes, okay, we had to hack in that one haste, but I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna look at the footage to see if Lulu was preemptively in SOS haste. Could we have done it? Or in auto haste? So it's got 100,000. Here's what we're gonna do though. Need to be careful here. Going to check the AI. Let's get the P-Bird main guide up. Right, Yu Yevon. As Kiraga has been used 7 times. No, Gravija. Yes, Osmos Ultimate. Return to condition. Okay, we've got to be careful here. Let's use a Supreme Gem. So this is where we potentially can win. Because we've got Zombie Strike. So that's 2 Kirajas. And he's just done 10k to himself. I think we've got enough turns in the kitty with auto haste. Got to make sure that so Gravija's fine. Okay. Right, I'm just going to swap Auron out for Tidus. And Tidus is going to swap weapon. Here's where I need to I think if we go for a Supreme Gem again and hope for max damage on the left pagoda. Okay, well we got higher than last time, which is good. Regia's fine. Let's bring in the nurse. Oh, it's on 1086. So, here's what we're going to do. bring someone in who can switch after. Can Yuna switch after Riku? Please say she can. Yes, she can. Here's what we're going to do, folks. We're going to do a final Supreme Gem. Oh, we're doubling up on sensor here. Right. Can Tidus nip in just after Riku? No, he can't. Okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to finish things off. No, because someone was killed him. Ten, 8, 9, 6. What's that going to do? What, 600 damage? It's not going to be enough. Let's just swap with Tidus. Okay, Ravage is fine. $2,724. Riku with the final Supreme Gem in the challenge. Hardcore Nuzlocke in FFX. Done. Let's go. Let's go! Yes! Yu Yevon done! Oh my god, I never thought I'd see this ever in the challenge. This is monumental. Let's go, folks.
Don't stop.
But
It's all right. It's been long enough. This is your world now.
Yuna, I have to go. I'm sorry I couldn't show you Xanarkand. Goodbye.
Hey!
we're gonna see you again!
Yuna!
I love you. Yuna, it's time.
Everyone has lost something precious. Everyone here has lost homes, dreams, and friends. Everybody? Now, Sin is finally dead. Now, Spira is ours again. Working together. Now we can make new homes for ourselves and new dreams. Although I know the journey will be hard, we have lots of time. Together, we will rebuild Spira. The road is ahead of us, so let's start out today. Just one more thing. The people and the friends that we have lost. No dreams that faded. Never forget them.
My God, what a beautiful ending to this game. Brings a tear to my eye every single time I watch this. One of the best endings ever. Probably the best ending to a video game ever. My favourite ending of anything ever. Bittersweet, beautiful, amazing, incredible. What other words can I say about the ending? And some words about the ending of the challenge. This is only the beginning. I say the beginning of the end because I am over the moon that we have managed to somewhat get through BFA, albeit with probably an asterisk, but albeit we've done it and we've got through Yu Yevon. What I want to do next is almost reverse engineer the fight to see where we can do things better, to see where we can optimize the line for the victory, and to see how we can do this a bit more consistently for future hardcore Nuzlocke attempts. What I would also love to do is some one-off challenges and some scenario-based challenges like Unalesca without auto haste, or redoing Beacon Out Island with SOS haste, for instance, seeing how that impacts future challenge bosses. And it also opens the door for us to do things like DLC content like Omega Ruins as a what if scenario, and to see if we could potentially even do a couple of the Monster Arena fights. So, folks that enjoy the Hardcore Nuzlocke Challenge, there's a bit more to come. There's some kind of one-off streams we can do. I will be doing more testing on the BFA fight to see if we can get it more consistent, more repeatable, and if we can optimize this even further. But my God, we actually managed to defeat BFA, and we actually managed to defeat Yu Yevon in the Final Fantasy X hardcore Nuzlocke challenge. I never in my wildest dreams ever thought I would live to hear those words. I didn't even think I would ever get past Evre Altana, but that proved to be beatable. I then didn't think we'd ever get past Seymour Flux. That proves now to be repeatable. And then we went on to the infamous, and you think I'm going to say Unalesca, but no, the infamous Spectral Keeper, which was the biggest wall before BRASKA'S Final Aeon. Yu Yevon, sorry, Unalesca was probably the battle of the challenge. Always is in a Final Fantasy X No Sphere Grid challenge. And then we had a great new strategy for the Overdrive Sin fight. Then we made it all the way to BFA, and it took us 4 episodes to get through it. But my God, what an attempt that was. What a fight. What an effort. What a challenge. I just can't thank you all enough for the love and support you've given me throughout this past year and a quarter. It has been the best thing I've done on this challenge in terms of a challenge, and it has been the best thing I've done on this channel up until this point. It has been my favourite thing I've done on this challenge up until this point, and I can't thank you all enough. So if you're watching live, if you're watching on the VOD, hats off to you all for being there supporting me, for your ideas, for the likes, the comments, the subscribes, for everything, because it means the world. And I'm going to keep going with this challenge. This is not the end. This is the start of some DLC content, the start of some optimization with the BFA fight, but relishing in the fact that it can somewhat, in fact, scrap that, it can be beaten. I know it can. So let's do it together, because this is our story. Let's see this thing through together. Thanks for everyone for watching. We're going to let the credits play out, and we're going to let this one wrap up for today. It has been a monumental episode in the Final Fantasy X Hardcore Nuzlocke Challenge. Appreciate everything, all the love and support, as always. And I'll catch you all on the next one. Lots of love. Take care. Bye for now. Just one quick final note and a quick thanks. This might be the end of this stream, but it's not the end of the challenge. Lots of love to you all. Catch you all on the next one. Cheers.